The Nintendo Switch 2 speculations have accelerated recently while being far from confirmed. The aging hardware and the fact that the Nintendo Switch is 6 years old suggests that the Japanese gaming behemoth is probably developing a successor. The Switch 2 may be that console. Nintendo usually releases whole new platforms that improve upon the capabilities and features of their ancestors, or the business tries something entirely different. With regard to its portable equipment, it has often been more iterative. As a result, even if the Switch 2 isn't officially named, we're certain that it will be Nintendo's next huge gaming console. We anticipate significant power gains, an OLED display as standard, and 4K output capability to match the finest TVs now available for purchase. In light of that, here are our current theories on what we know and would want to see about the Nintendo Switch 2. We would tentatively propose that a second-generation Switch might appear during the next 12 months, given that 2 recent reports have surfaced hinting at and teasing the possibility of a Switch 2. The Switch 2 is reportedly scheduled for release around the same time as the PS5 Pro. Although we had anticipated that Nintendo's newest hardware would be released in 2023, President Shuntaro Furukawa said of the company's annual financial report that no hardware releases are scheduled for the next fiscal year. This implies that the Switch 2 won't be released until after March 2024. A report from Chinese investment site MoneyJ, which outlined the production outlook at Han High Technology Group subsidiary Hongzhen, a manufacturer of metal cases, gave some credence to a release in the first quarter of 2024. The report stated that Hongzhen expects to benefit from the launch of the Switch 2, presumably by manufacturing parts of the console. The same journal then said that early in 2024, a new Japanese game console is expected to be released, according to sources from a CMOS sensor vendor that works with Nintendo. We interpret it to be the Nintendo Switch 2. While most rumors indicate that a 2024 debut is the goal, individuals claiming to have knowledge of Nintendo's next-gen console plans indicate that Nintendo is aiming for a second half of 2019 release date. Contrary to popular belief, a recent analyst report suggests that a release in March or April 2024 may be planned. This would enable Nintendo to fend off the PS5's current sales momentum. According to a recent rumor, a late summer debut is feasible. A Nintendo job posting for a marketing intern mentions that the months of June through August can be quite busy, implying that a significant marketing campaign might be underway at that time. Another tip from a leaker with a track record of releasing reliable information also implies that Nintendo is aiming for a 2024 release date. The Nintendo Switch OLED costs $349. Therefore, we'd venture to estimate that the price of the next Switch would be in the neighborhood of that amount, particularly if an OLED display is used. But according to a new leak from a whistleblower whose credibility for accurate information varies, the Nintendo Switch 2 will only set you back $399. That would also make sense at a time when hardware costs are generally on the rise, even if it is $50 more than the Switch OLED. It is reasonable to anticipate that Nintendo will continue to use an NVIDIA system on a chip, most likely an upgraded version of the Tegra X1 processor, which powers the present Switch. Considering the popularity and reach of the Switch, we wouldn't be shocked if Nintendo also received a customized chipset from NVIDIA. However, AMD's developments, which are evident in the Valve Stream Deck and Asus ROG Ally, might provide Team Red a chance to supply the chips for a Switch that comes out in the future. Nevertheless, we would still err on the side of NVIDIA, after a frenzied rumor that suggested a Tegra chip based on Samsung's 5nm manufacturing node, which the source who first brought it to our attention later denied. We now firmly believe that the Nintendo Switch 2 will have an NVIDIA processor at its core. Calculating potential power or clock speeds would be challenging. However, we'd like to think Nintendo will be able to access enough CPU and GPU power to provide a next-generation gaming experience. A possible coprocessor chip to reside in the dock of a Switch 2 or the previously leaked Nintendo Switch Pro was mentioned in whispers. When docked and connected to a 4K TV, this additional chip would be utilized to increase the console's power and visual output. Although there have been no further speculations about it, such a feature would be amazing. The 512 GB of onboard storage that has been leaked would be a major improvement above the 32 GB and 64 GB of the original Switch and Switch OLED, respectively. The Switch 2 is aiming for an OLED screen on the display side, which is similar to the Switch OLED. However, an increase in refresh rates, let's say from 60 Hz to 120 Hz, as seen in the finest phones, would be ideal. We're crossing our fingers, but there are no rumors to back this up. But Sharp, the company that manufactures the Switch displays already in use, has said that it is developing a new LCD panel for a new gaming console. This may be the Switch 2. If so, the Switch 2 could have outdated screen technology compared to the Switch OLED, which would be disappointing. Sharp could be alluding to another system that hasn't been shown yet. However, we have our doubts that the Switch 2 will come without OLED displays as standard. A new report that the Switch 2 would ship with an LCD panel to save manufacturing costs has only served to heighten our concerns. Additionally, there is a fresh report from tipster Netathate that feeds the speculation that the Nintendo Switch 2 may use an LCD display. Although there aren't many clues regarding the features of the Nintendo Switch 2, we can make some informed guesses. We hope to see improved Joy-Cons with less stick wandering and analog triggers for more accurate control in games like racing if the Switch 2 maintains the same control layout as the Switch. If Nintendo does truly adhere to the Switch's basic design, a few ergonomic adjustments for the Switch 2 would also be welcome. Additionally, we would want to see a longer battery life for the Switch because titles like Breath of the Wild can drain the device's battery in a matter of hours. It would undoubtedly be a more practical gaming device for longer international trips if it had a larger battery. An improved Nintendo Switch 2 Wi-Fi connection is another feature we'd like to see. Improved Wi-Fi may not be the first improvement that comes to mind, but it may make a big difference for things like streaming games or quickly downloading them. There's a suggestion for a new Mario game for the Nintendo Switch 2, and it seems like the Unreal 4 engine will be used to produce it. A rumor that the system would arrive with a new 3D Mario game has added credence to this original leak. Additionally, the system will get Mario Kart X, a brand new Mario Kart game in the second year of its existence. According to reports, it's the most expensive game Nintendo has ever produced. Additionally, there are rumors that the Switch 2 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake looks and runs like a PS5 game. The 2020 game is undoubtedly one that the current Switch couldn't handle, and it may be a great way to demonstrate the device's capabilities when it launches. According to a recent rumor by Eurogamer, a few developers were granted access to the Nintendo Switch 2 at the Gamescom 2023 trade event in Germany. According to the website's sources, Nintendo demonstrated the capabilities of the Switch 2 with a new version of Breath of the Wild. However, it's unclear whether the demo is intended for actual release or if a revised version of the game will ever be made available to the general public. Big first-party titles like a new Zelda game should definitely make an appearance on the Switch 2, and probably a fresh take on Mario Kart. However, as of this writing, any possible further games are only conjecture and fantasy. Backwards compatibility is something we really hope to see in the Nintendo Switch 2, especially considering how eagerly users have been waiting for it on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Ideally, this will lead to better visual fidelity and a performance boost when older Switch games are played on more modern hardware. A troubling new rumor suggests that the Switch 2 may not have backwards compatibility for Switch games. That would be a little disappointing, and if Nintendo isn't going to depend on its more known and older game catalog, it would need to have a fantastic launch roster for the next generation Switch. We have also maintained that the Switch Joy-Cons must likewise be backwards compatible. Backup Joy-Cons may be a costly add-on for the existing Switch, so it would be frustrating if the Switch 2 made them unnecessary. We also expect that the Switch 2 will work with other current Switch accessories, such as the Ring Fit Adventure and external controllers. If you've enjoyed speculating on what the future holds for our beloved handheld console, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop on all things gaming. What are your thoughts on these leaks? Which feature or improvement are you most excited about for the Nintendo Switch 2? Let us know in the comments down below. We love hearing from our gaming community.